Go for a nice modification for the child pose, or balasana, the child pose out of yoga. It's more sort of Pilates orientated, but it's a better position to get the breath into the lower lobes of lungs, which is what lateral thoracic breathing is. It's going to help us use the pelvic floor and the core sit in a most efficient manner. It helps us not breathe into the belly button. It's going to help us breathe into these lower lobes of lungs. So again, it's not really the meditative breath like we breathe into the belly like a balloon. It's not that sort of breathing. It's gathering in, zipping up pelvic floor, scooping out your abdominals, taking the navel towards the spine. The only way to explain the pelvic floor is if you're a long journey, when you go to the toilet, you stop yourself going, that's your pelvic floor. That's how you engage the pelvic floor. Corset powerhouse girdle of strength is 3 layers deep, which links onto that like cling film, wrapping around our spine. And the way we get that is by gathering at the belly button, tucking your belly button in towards the spine. You do one and the other one goes, and vice versa. So just simply zip up pelvic floor, scoop out your abdominals, and I'm going to go for the breathing. I'm going to demonstrate in a position. This is a great modification for balasana, the child pose, if you have trouble on your knees. So say the balasana is here and you have trouble on your knees, that would be no good for you. So also this would be a better position to get the breath into your lower lobes of lungs, but also it's a modification for you if you've got any knee problems and this is aggravating it a little bit. Again, rather than putting loads of sort of bolsters and cushions, which you could do, this is just an easy one to go into. So again, I'm going to demonstrate. I'm going to come into this sort of C shape. Okay, again, front ways on. Again, I'm going to be like this. Now again, if you need any more width here, you can do. Again, if you have any trouble, you don't have to come as far as me. Okay, you can just slightly fold over. But this is the full position. Again, heels in line with sit bones, knees in line with feet, feet in line with knees, knees in line with hips. Basically, legs aligned. Okay, you can go for all that, but let's just say heels in line with sit bones. You know your legs are aligned. Okay, that's the easiest way. I'm going to turn sideways on so you can see that. And I'm going to start with the breathing and talk you through the breathing. So what we're going to do is fold over, collapse inwards, unstack the vertebrae and fold forward. And as you're doing this, breathe in through the nose and exhale through pursed lips. As if you're blowing out a candle through pursed lips. Okay, breathe in through the nose and exhaling through pursed lips. As if you're blowing out a candle through pursed lips. And as you zip up pelvic floor and scoop out your abdominals, that's going to help you breathe anywhere but the belly button. It's going to help you breathe into these lower lobes of lungs, the intercostals, the ribs, anywhere but the stomach. So much though you might feel the 2 ribs coming out to the side, contracting and decreasing, just adding width to the lungs and length to the out breath, that lovely free expansive breath. Lovely, just thinking tiny waist, navel towards spine. It's going to help us breathe into these fish gills wide and full, these lower lobes of lungs, the intercostals, the ribs, anywhere but the stomach. As though someone's opening an umbrella inside a rib cage and letting go, or someone's just pushing out the ribs from inside and letting go. That lovely, free, expansive breath, just coming in organ deep, cell deep, even bone marrow deep, into these lower lobes of lungs, the intercostals, the ribs, anywhere but the stomach. As if someone's opening an umbrella inside a rib cage and letting go, or someone's just pushing out from inside our ribs and letting go. Keep breathing in 3D style into them fish gills, wide and full, into them lower lobes of lungs, the intercostals, the ribs, anywhere but the stomach. It's going to help us use the pelvic floor and the core set in the most efficient manner, helping us breathe anywhere but the belly button, helping us breathe low and deep into these lower lobes of lungs. just adding width to the lungs and length to the out breath. That lovely, free, expansive out breath as you ride in the wave of that lovely 3D breath. Lovely. Just collapsing inwards, dying off. We're thinking tiny waist, navel towards spine. From there we're just going to come out. We're going to breathe in, stack up the vertebrae bone by bone and come out there. Lovely. Again, that's probably the best position. You get the breath into the lower lobes of the lungs. Otherwise, you can even think of a scarf going around the rib cage, being tied around the rib cage, tight, and you breathe into that scarf wide and full. You can do that so you can feel where the breath's going. That's lateral thoracic breathing, but in a nice C pose there, nice C shape, and it's a nice modification for the balasana, the child pose, if you've got any problems with knees, etc. Lovely. Bang.